In the middle of the 14th century, a shadow fell across the world. It arrived not with armies, but with rats and fleas. This was the bubonic plague, a pandemic that would etch itself into history as the Black Death. Originating likely in the steppes of Central Asia, it traveled the Silk Road, reaching the bustling ports of the Mediterranean in 1347. From there, it swept with terrifying speed through a Europe unprepared for its horror. The sickness was brutal, characterized by fever, chills, and the gruesome swellings called buboes that gave the disease its name. Mortality was staggering, wiping out an estimated 30 to 50% of Europe's total population in just a few terrible years. Society unraveled. Towns were emptied, fields lay fallow, and the bonds of family and faith were tested as people fled from the sick. The plague did not discriminate, felling peasants and princes alike, yet it also ignited profound change. With a severe labor shortage, surviving workers found newfound power, and the rigid structure of feudalism began to crack. The world that emerged from the shadow was irrevocably altered, a continent physically scarred, spiritually shaken, and poised on the brink of a new era. The Black Death was not merely a catastrophe, but a pivot point in human history, a stark reminder of nature's power to shape the destiny of civilizations. For 2 long centuries, the plague became a recurring specter at Europe's door, with major outbreaks flaring every generation. These waves, like the pestilence of 1361 which struck the young especially hard, prevented population recovery and seared a lasting trauma into the collective memory. The search for cause ranged from miasma in the air to divine wrath, leading to tragic persecutions, most infamously against Jewish communities who were falsely blamed. Yet amid the fear, the crisis also spurred early public health measures. Cities like Venice and Milan implemented the first quarantines, isolating ships and the sick for 40 days, a quarantina, to try to halt the contagion spread. This grim dance of devastation and adaptation reshaped economies, art, and thought, steering the course toward the Renaissance and the modern age. The legacy of the plague is a testament to human resilience in the face of an invisible, unimaginable foe. And so, the shadow gradually receded, but it never truly disappeared. The bacterium Yersinia pestis retreated into silent reservoirs among rodent populations, a sleeping menace. The world it left behind was fundamentally different, a continent with fewer people but more opportunities for those who remained. Wages rose, social mobility increased, and a critical questioning of old authorities, both medical and religious, took root. The art of the period turned from solely the divine to vividly capture the fragility of human life. While subsequent centuries would see smaller, localized outbreaks, the scale of the 14th century catastrophe was never repeated. Today, we understand the science and can treat the disease, yet the Black Death endures as the archetype of a global pandemic. It stands as a humbling reminder of our interconnected world and the profound, often unforeseen, ways in which catastrophe can forge the future.